So welcome back, everyone. I am going to talk a little bit with somebody here who's been on my show many times before. I have with me Robert Pearson. He's the owner of Solarize. Welcome back to the show. Today I'm letting you take the lead here with everything, and you said that you wanted to spend the entire time on how affordable solar is now.
Correct. Actually, we call it the economics of solar, and the fact of the matter is that everyone is looking this year, I know, because my post-solar bill for August after my solar was $430. Now, I'm doing an awful lot more than all of you. I'm charging my car, 5,000–6,000 miles a month. I am cooling my pool or heating my pool, and I'm running 2 air conditioners at below 71 degrees. So we're using the power. If I didn't have solar, it would be 3 times more expensive. But this all breaks down to supply and demand. And the utilities, although they're in the evil spotlight, they're in a huge dilemma. And that dilemma in a state like Arizona is that, February, March, April, May, June are our top production months and our lowest usage months. So we have all these clients with solar that are sending power back to the utility. They can't store it or use it. It's really, unfortunately, wasted energy. And that has a lot to do with this. What the utilities have been doing with changes they've been making, specifically APS, is increasing the cost of your on-peak dramatically. I mean, up 40% from 3 years ago. Off-peak really is of no consequence because they're worried about when we're needing to cool our homes, 2 or 3 in the afternoon, and business is open and they're using a lot of power. So they've been changing these rates to incentivize batteries. And I've spoken about this before. I've never been a huge battery proponent until the release of the Tesla Powerwall 3, only because it took much more than one battery to do what you can do with one battery now, besides the fact that if you build the battery into your solar, you're going to be eliminating some components that you would need, making it less expensive to do it from the get-go than after the fact. And those components would be the inverters, because the Powerwall 3 has the inverters built in. You don't need to have inverters on your job, which is going to save a few $1,000s with the solar, and getting you on the rate plan, which is the 4 to 6 plan with APS. The only on-peak hours are 4 to 6 p.m. Otherwise, you have a huge demand charge if you were to incur demand. What is demand? Demand is defined as the largest 30 minutes of energy usage within the billing period. So you're on this month's billing period, only relating to the on-peak, so 3 hours a day, 5 days a week, 15 hours a week, you're on peak. The largest 30 minutes of usage you have in that month is going to set your demand charge for the month, and it could come the last 30 minutes of the month. If you have an air conditioner running and something else, you could have 7 points demand, 7 kilowatts of demand, which could be an extra $175 on your bill outside of what you paid for electricity. That's why with the battery, you're only covering your usage from 4 to 6 p.m. with the battery and what's coming in from the solar as well. We eliminate that. We can take someone and combine it with the right amount of solar, which is less than you would need without the battery. We've got a $30 bill for someone that is normally used to paying $500 a month.
Which is awesome. Now, I want you to hear a little bit about you,
okay,
because it's very interesting. You've been doing this for 27 years. You're 5-star rated everywhere. You also do a home show, I think it's
Home Hunter TV.
Home Hunter TV, and you've been doing that for a very long time. And what I'm getting that out for everybody to understand, that you come with an incredible amount of experience and knowledge, okay? And you've been yourself, you know, you yourself are a solarized person.
Yes.
You know, I have to say it that way.
I do everything I talk about.
You absolutely, you walk the talk. Now, please. Now, I know that you're thinking, okay, I don't want to spend money, but we're going to talk a little bit about that because a lot of people have been putting their heads in the sand, and you need to get your head out of the sand because the sooner you do this, the better it is for you. So his phone number to call direct is 480-246-0405. You can check him out. It is solarizeaz.com. You can check out his website because all of the proof is there. You have tons of proof there, as well as 5-star rated everywhere. Check out all of his reviews. Go ahead.
So everyone that has an electric bill of over $300 a month these days is already paying for solar that they don't have. And what do I exactly mean by that? With the rate hikes that we're having right now, you know, your bill 5 years ago, your peak bill in APS might have been $260. Now it's $475. Okay, when you go solar and you have battery backup, you're taking all of your dependence on APS away, because with solar alone, and I guarantee that 99.9% of people listening don't know this. Every year, August 31st, APS lowers what they pay for solar energy. Now, that doesn't affect you that has a solar contract from APS 2 years ago, because I believe that all new contracts are on a 10-year rate lock. It just means new people. So every year, if you were going to do solar 3 years ago, I can tell you one thing for sure, my pricing is the same as it was per watt 5 years ago, but it's going to take 30% more panels to get you to the same place you would have been if you would have done this 3 years ago, because your buyback rate is 30% less. And I hope that makes sense. I've always said the best time to quit drinking or smoking is tomorrow. The best time to start saving money is yesterday.
The phone number to call him direct is 480-246-0405. To me, it makes sense to have that consultation with you because everybody's different. Everybody lives differently. You cannot talk to your neighbor. Please don't talk to the people that come knocking on your door. That is for sure, because they're not knowledgeable in any way. You want to talk to somebody who is been doing this for a really long time, and you are one of them.
Not me, just my clients. You know what? If you want to talk to a Solarize client, then unless I did your neighbor's job, I don't care if they're upset with their system. I don't have that. You can go through any reviews that you see on Google and tell me the names of the people. I'll give you phone numbers and addresses so you can reach them, because that's what this is all about. You saving money and having the trust and confidence to know it can be done.
That phone number again, it's 480-246-0405. He has 5-star rating everywhere. He's been doing it for 27 years, and he does free consultations. And when you come back, I'm going to stop you for 1 second, because one thing I want to know is what it looks like after you come. I know I let you have the floor, and I didn't really, but anyway. I would like for you to tell me what it looks like if I call you and we'll talk about our home,
okay,
right? And I want to see what that looks like and what it's going to, how I am going to get into it and what it's going to take for that. Okay?
Perfect.
So before we go, I want you to talk about anything else that you want to say before we go on our break.
And one thing I will say is my education, which you hit on earlier, I was managing electricity and rates and demand before I was into solar. I was basically in load control demand management for APS clients, not using peak load, saving clients 20 to 30% a year. So I got to know what each appliance costs you to run each month, and I'll get into that after break.
That number to call direct is 480-246-0405. Please, if you can't write the number down, at least call him later. Get onto his website, check it out. It's solarizeaz.com. I'm going to spell it out for everybody. SOLARIZEAZ.com. Again, 5-star rated everywhere. We're going to go to a break. When we come back, we want to talk further. Now is the time. Today is the time. You all know. Anytime you got your bill in the mail, every month, you're sweating bullets over everything that you're already sweating over already. So let him save you money. That's what it's all about. So again, his number direct, it's 480-246-0405. It's solarizeaz.com. Hang tight. We're going to be back in just a minute.
Whether you're a seasoned entrepreneur or launching a new business or leading a business, you dream your effort will provide both financial freedom and the time to enjoy all that life has to offer. If you're ready to make that dream a reality, Ken, business coach and leadership expert, has created the Silver Bullet Academy to elevate every part of your business. Call Ken at 602-820-6978 or visit makingthecut.biz. That's 602-820-6978 or makingthecut.biz.
Feeling overwhelmed with your money? At Morewell, we can help you stay on track without worrying about numbers or tracking the market all the time. Visit morewellmanagement.net, where we use a new generation holistic approach to maximize.
When you come in and you sit and talk to somebody, once you start that consultation, how long does it take the process to happen where they're starting to get those their solar on the roof and they're starting to save money? About how long?
Well, it will start their very first month with solar, and if they're financing it, their first payment's not due till 30 days after it's installed.
Okay.
Yeah.
And so it's no out-of-pocket money?
No out of pocket if they finance it. Yep.
Okay.
Yep.
So you okay with what I did?
Oh yeah,
Okay.
yeah, I'm fine. No complaints. No. I know exactly what you're trying to do, so
I'm sure you do.
yeah.
Mhm.
And I appreciate it.
No problem.
Do you have a parent, grandparent, or loved one who needs some extra help? Senior Helpers has spent 16 years helping seniors continue to live at home as they age. Do you
I'm going to keep my fingers crossed, my friend.
grocery shopping, meal preparation, or even help taking a shower? Call Senior Helpers today at 480-621-6672. We specialize in helping seniors with Alzheimer's and dementia, Parkinson's disease, and other chronic illnesses to stay at home. You can find us online at seniorhelpers.com or at 480-621-6672.
What if I told you that getting Medicare coverage doesn't have to be a complicated
There's all these ads that you hear of people like this guy here.
options available?
8 years on my show.
Yeah.
I mean, so many of them. Yeah, that's why I'm bummed. I don't get
Well,
anything.
maybe it's just
Man.
going to take a little bit longer.
Yeah, I don't know, but I mean, every one of them.
Yeah.
It's, yes. I wouldn't say it, because you know what, you could come back on me and then I'd be a liar, and I wouldn't, I'm not like that, you know?
541-7656 or visit tapestryinsurancegroup.com.
Hi, I'm Susan Tanko, president of WC.
I got a lot of ads.
Arizona. As a business owner, you've sacrificed for many years, created a successful business, and provided great opportunities for others. One day, you will close the business, give it away, or turn it into cash. No other licensed brokerage in
Okay,
Arizona
gotcha.
has our track record. Don't just sell your business with anyone. Sell with confidence. Call WCI Commercial, 602-795-2005, or go to WCIbroker.com.
KFNX Cave Creek. If it's raining.
So welcome back. We are talking with Robert Pearson. He's the owner of Solarize. And at the break, before the break, I just was talking to him about, you know, going through what the looks like when you come into my home. We're going to do a mock sort of appointment right now. Is that okay with you?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I love it. Okay, so what does that look like? I call you up and what do you ask for first?
So I'm going to ask you a number of questions. Number one, I'm going to find out how long you lived in the home. You know, if you bought the home in the last 2 years or 3 years and you still have your home inspection report, I'm going to have you email me that PDF. Why? Because it's going to tell me exactly what I need to know about your existing electrical, the age of your roof, and your current air conditioning equipment. If you have a pool, it's going to tell me about the pool pump. Two most expensive appliances you run in your house are, number one, your air conditioner. And just to give you an idea, you know, in the winter or spring, when you just have your normal appliances running in your house, computer, TVs, lights, a few fans, refrigerator, freezer, you're pulling about 1.1 kilowatt. The second an air conditioner goes on, you're up to about 6 kW, and if your pool kicks on, you're now at 8 or 9 kW. So that all contributes to more solar, which is why if I find out that you have an old pool pump that is a single speed pool pump. I'm going to use less solar, and I'm going to put on a new pool pump, a 4-speed pump with permanent magnetic motors, the kind that are in electric vehicles, meaning no metal touches metal, which is why an EV motor is warranted for 150,000 miles. Those pumps are going to save you $500 a year that I don't need to produce with solar. Those pumps are about $2,100 installed too, and believe it or not, to produce that $500 we're saving with more solar would be about $3,600. So I'm saving you money by doing this, and I'm giving you peace of mind because the new pumps are much quieter. You won't hear them. Same concept on the HVAC. People say, I've met with hundreds of solar guys, you're the only one that's asked me about air conditioning. Well, based on my air conditioning pricing, which is volume pricing based on $1 million of business a year with a vendor that I've done for 14 years, my pricing is about $5,000 less for the same high efficiency 2-stage unit that you would get from another vendor. Actually, sometimes more. Last guy I quoted $26,000 for 2 ACs. He was quoted $41,000 by another vendor for units that weren't even 2-stage. Besides the fact that there are huge tax incentives with the new plan that you can take advantage of as well, and you're going to have a higher return on investment. Once I find out about the age of your appliances, we'll set a time to meet. So I'll determine. Solar isn't for everyone. If everything's good, I'm going to tell you that because I don't want to. There's nothing I can do, and I walk away from a lot of jobs because there's no benefit. So when we establish there is a benefit, we're going to get together. I'm going to have your project built, and then we're going to look at your usage when we get together. We're going to pull it from APS and plug in all the missing elements and see exactly how much you're going to save in the next 3 months, 1 year, 5 years, 10 years, and how much more you're going to sell your house for. Because I am Pearl certified, and you will have a 41-page appraisal addendum with your job that is meant for resale and for refi, because your house will be more valuable with solar and a battery than it will be without, and a real estate appraiser does not have the expertise to do that.
Now you can call him direct. His phone number is 480-246-0405. I know a lot of people might be thinking, right, well, we're just going to get into the cooler months, so I don't need to do this right now. Wrong. Let's talk about that if that's okay with you after you take that.
She is wrong. And you know what? When you get together with me, you'll understand this. I know right now this is all lip service because the bad travels quicker than the good. And unfortunately, if you're on Nextdoor, you'll see just that. You know what? The second someone says that, oh, there's a cop car, everyone wants to know why. It's almost like they have it programmed in. People get their news from their neighbors. And if they're passing news on to you, it's probably not the best of news. And if it's regarding solar, you're automatically going to have a negative connotation for solar. And I'll say, and that's why I always say, if you're looking at Teslas, don't talk to someone about their Chevy, okay? It doesn't mean anything. If you want to find out about how Solarize clients are treated and what they think, then talk to a few. And if you want to do that, I'll give you the ability to do that.
You can also check him out on the website, which is Solarize, SOLARIZE, and then it's AZ.com. He's 5-star rated everywhere, and there is a good reason why. Listen, we know that there's people out there that do this, but I don't think I've ever heard anyone as knowledgeable, as educated as you are. And also the fact that you've been on that television show for I don't know how long.
18 years.
18 years.
Yeah.
And this is what they talk about, folks. So maybe it's you or someone that you know. This is good news that's going to travel when you tell them that you heard this on Networking Arizona, because you won't know until he comes in and you start looking at everything and finding out, is it right for you? Because the person that knocks on your door is going to say, yes, it's right for you, but it may or may not be. And then you get in that bad taste in your mouth, and that's when one bad apple ruins the whole bunch.
Correct. I can't even determine whether it's right by a conversation alone. I mean, I need factual information. usage, age of appliances, age of roof, and bills, you know. So second of all, a lot of clients want to meet with their neighbors, you know. They want to have 2 or 3 neighbors present. That's fine, because I give a referral. That's why I'm so good to my people, because they send me a lot of referrals. And every time I install a referral, I pay the referring client between $1,000 and $1,500. It's based on the size of the job. So that's my selfish reason for always doing the right thing, is that there's only good news associated with that right thing and my company and myself, my name, my integrity, which I've worked very hard on.
And you can check that out on his website. You will see it there. It is solarizeaz.com. You can call him direct, 480-246-0405. Go ahead.
Yep, you'll also hear on occasion Sam, my partner, Sam Friedberg. He primarily handles SRP, where I do probably 3 APS jobs for every SRP job, probably 5 or 6. I live in SRP, I know SRP, which, mind you, is the most difficult utility in the world with solar. And you get all these out-of-state companies coming in here with door knockers to do a blitz, as they call it, in SRP. They have 500 guys knocking on doors and setting appointments with misinformation, because you can never get an SRP bill. Well, you can with batteries. There is no way you'd have an easier chance winning the lottery than getting a $0 SRP bill with solar alone. That's for sure. But it is very, very beneficial in both utilities, and it's going to do a few things for you. I mean, imagine you have to almost look at solar as that gas card from 10 years ago. If you could have locked your cost for gas in 10 years ago, how about, you know, maybe before 10 years, even 4 years, okay? And you're only paying that cost for gasoline for the rest of your life. That's the way that solar is. You're not going to pay any more than you're currently paying. You're going to hedge electric inflation, because every time the rates go up, it doesn't really bother you if you have batteries and solar, and you're protected for that emergency. The utilities have been warning about rolling blackouts. It will happen. It happened in California. We're so much like California. It's outside of the politics. It's strange. You know, California made it mandatory for all new builds to have solar on them as of 2020. Arizona will probably follow. And it's the best thing in the world that you could do, because it's not just doing yourself a favor. It's helping everyone else by lessening the amount of energy that is needed from the utilities.
That
phone
number to call, it's 480-246-0405. He does free consultations. You're Pearl certified. Do you want to tell him what that means real quickly?
Yeah, Pearl's a third party that works with the Department of Real Estate, the Appraisal Institute, and the government in only evaluating and appraising, giving value to high-performing homes and businesses. Homes and businesses that have spent money to make their building envelope cost less to operate, and all those benefits pass on upon resale.
What's your final words?
Call me sooner rather than later. Otherwise, don't be complaining about your APS or SRP bills.
Solarize your home, right?
Solarize.
Solarize. He came up with it, and you know something? He walks the talk. He has been doing this for 27 years. He's been doing his television show, ABC, on ABC TV show for almost 18 years. You said that one. This is what they talk about there. Also, 5-star rated everywhere. Please, folks, we know that a lot of people, especially now with the money, with everybody in the economy, this is a way for you to save money for a very long time.
I even drove here on solar.
That phone number again is 480-246-0405. You can check him out on his website. It's Solarize, SOLARIZE, and it's AZ.com. And, you know, this can be a life-changing event for people. And the only way you're going to know is having him come in there and do that complete consultation. It isn't just coming in and this thing, singing, talking and answering questions. He's really going to do the job for you and make sure it's right for you, because he says it's not right for everybody. Again, that phone number to call, it's 480 246-0405. It's solarizeaz.com.